Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another large block, large battleship. This one that I'm currently standing on is called the ENV Reine Corvette, and hopefully I'm saying that correctly, because it seems to change depending on where you're from. But it's this lovely thing that I'm currently standing on. So this is a survival-ready ship. Yes, it is fully buildable in survival mode as it states on the Steam Workshop page. It comes equipped with a bunch of artillery turrets, a bunch of assault cannon turrets, a couple of Gatling gun turrets, some rocket launchers, some railguns for some manual firepower, a very large interior where it had so many doors that you basically open one, and then you've got more choices to go through those doors, then you've got even more choices to go through. It's just a gigantic maze where we're probably going to end up getting lost and wasting a bunch of time. So press the F10 and find this in spawn menu, the ENV, and that is the actual name itself up there, so it's REINE. Yes, this thing is 2,482 large blocks, using pretty much all the DLC packs. We've got one hell of a lot of information about it, where it states up here that it's survival ready, it's printable, fully vanilla, it's got the hydrogen, iron and atmospheric thrusters, and it can fly in 1 G of gravity using only the atmospheric thrusters, which is very good stuff. Yes, there's a hell of a lot more information about it, such as its blocks, how long it is, how high it is, and of course its armaments and all that. So simply give this a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, but then get lost on the interior, then hopefully some space pirates will spawn, and we'll go and test it out in combat. And if you are interested in the Skybox I'm currently using, I believe it is called Golden Road, there'll be a link to that in the description below if you want to use it yourself. It's very nice, very colourful, makes everything extremely bright, and does make ships show up quite nicely as a backdrop. Anyway, for the ENV, getting a little bit closer and putting my light so we can actually see what's going on down here, this is what we get for the very front. And there's a bunch of grey and light blue steel blocks make up the main body of the ship, with a couple of our windows, which is for our main bridge to drive this thing around. This ship comes with multiple cockpits on the inside as well that can fully control this ship. We've got one that simply controls its movement, then a secondary interior cockpit that has all the same controls as the helm you see right in front of you. Above that and on the left hand side we can see some fantastic use of the worn-torn armoured skin, which is featured all around this ship to make it look like it has been through plenty of battles during its time. Then moving down slightly over to here is one of two of our manual firing weapons. We've got 3 rocket launchers, and then of course on the left and right hand side, through those passages, will be our railguns to blast your enemies with. There's the start of our atmospheric thrusters, help slow you down while on the planet, and below there is the start of many artillery turrets to blast your enemies with. Pulling up and turning off my light, moving around onto the side, here we go. So that's what we can see, so we've got some fantastic use for our level blocks, spelling out the rain, hopefully I am still saying that correctly. And there is once again our worn-torn armor skin, just once again adding that extra bit of flavour to the overall ship. Along the side here, we've got a little doorway, purely there for some decoration, along with some fan atmospheric thrusters. Moving further along there, along the bottom and along the top, there's even more of our artillery turrets. There's a Gatling turret on the side for any kind of pesky drones, which are moving too quickly for your artillery guns, your assault cannons, to track and blast. Over in this part, we then got some inset light blocks, just to light up the darkness. Then over to that part, and then on the opposite side, we've got a sliding door to get in and out. Moving further on towards the back there, there's some hydrogen and ion thrusters, on the top there, and then right below there. On the side there is one turned off, and that is the same on the opposite side. I'm not sure if that's intended or not, or if it's just there for decorative purposes. Yes, you can always turn that on, you want to have more assistance moving on the left and right hand side. Come around towards the very back, more fan atmospheric thrusters, another inset light block. Then towards the back, there's another assault cannon turret. Some fantastic use for our steel blocks going all the way along and round towards the very back of this thing. Then at the very back of this thing, this is what's going to push us around, so we've got quite a lot of stuff going on here. So we've got 3 fan atmospheric thrusters, we've got 2 regular atmospheric thrusters, a bunch of ion thrusters, then 6 hydrogen thrusters, which should give us some respectable speed to scoot around towards your enemies, and of course away from your enemies. Moving all the way up, looking down, here we go. So yes, once again, more fantastic use for our worn-torn skin. Hopefully it is the worn-torn skin, I haven't actually used that one too much. There is a jump drive, so we are jump capable. There's more inset light blocks. There's the start of some hazard skin, just to cover up the edge of those passages. Moving all the way along towards the main body, more fan atmospheric thruster, a rear-facing artillery turret. Then into there, we then got some hydrogen thrusters to move us down while in space. All the way up to here, we then got a large pillar made out of a column and some interior pillars. Once again, some neon tubes, just adding us a bit more decoration along the top there. Then coming around towards the very front here, here's the bulk of our assault cannon turrets, along with some more neon tubes, some blaster edge blocks, some half catwalks, some passages, and some more inset light blocks. Moving along towards the front, there's the rest of our artillery turrets, more ion thrusters, and more fan atmosphere thrusters. And there we go. Moving all the way down underneath this thing, putting my light on once again. Set its rocket launcher door at the very front. There's more fan atmospheric thrusters, more artillery turrets, some more atmospheric thrusters, some more small fan atmospheric thrusters, a couple more hydrogen for good measure. Then moving towards the back here, we've then got one large vanilla atmospheric thruster, which should do very well while you're on our planet. Anyway, further to the back, more hydrogen thrusters, more assault cannons. There's the bottom of our jump drive. There's some large fan atmospheric thrusters. And getting a close look over here. There we go. That's how it's all been set up. And there we are. That's a brief look around the outside of the ENV Reine Corvette. And it's bloody fantastic how it's all set up. It's going to look absolutely magnificent when it engages into an enemy and all of those turrets open fire. Now what we've got to do is work our way around the interior, which is a gigantic maze. So grabbing hold of my character, going to first person view, scooting around towards the door on the side. Doesn't matter which door we go into because it's identical. Now we can open this up and drop all the way down. Now the doors do not use a script, they are on a time block. After about 7 seconds they'll close up automatically. So if you are going through an airlock, you may want to turn around and close it up manually. But I'm not going to do that because it's going to do it by itself. Anyway, turning around, opening up this, into here. Here is the start of the maze. Both of these doors are going to chain into different areas. So I suppose we're going to open up this door and come through here. Yes, this is just a small intermittent room with an armory locker on the side. So walking into this, we've then got a small little lab bay. There's our lab table. Then you've got some kitchen blocks on the side, a planter, a table, a fish block. There's a time block actually controlling the door, so there it is blinking away. Around towards the back here, there's a shower. And if I jetpack all the way over to this, we then see the opposite side of our fish block. There we go. Come back all the way through here. My character is apparently too fat to fit through that gap. We now open up this doorway. What's going to happen is, we're going to have another doorway. We'll come through this, and you guessed it, another doorway. But we can look through these windows where our large atmospheric thrust is sitting on the middle of the ship. Then walking all the way through here, into another window, there's the other side of the atmospheric thruster. Onto the other window, we can't see anything. So opening up this, here we go, more ways to walk around. But this is a small engineering bay. We've got a bunch of reactors, very decoratively set up, where they're just being elevated off the ground via some conveyors. So if we just walk all the way along, there we go. And we come all the way back around towards the very back. We've got two programmable blocks, one there, nothing going on with them. So if you did want to use the auto-dawn airlock script, you can actually place one on one of these. Turning around there, there's a little seat for you to sit on, and look at what's going on, look at your power usage, look at your hydrogen, so you can yell at the captain if you're going to run out of fuel. Hopping out of this, we've got some more doors to go through, where I think I'm going to ignore that one, and we're going to come up these steps and work our way towards the back of the ship. It's past this walkway. On that side, we can see, once again, our reactors. Looking up, some fantastic use of our slanted LCD screen. And looking all the way up there, there's our conveyors, just linking stuff together. Anyway, down to here and into this section, this is an access panel for our O2H2 generator, so we can manually pull stuff in and out if we need to. Very good place to actually recharge your hydrogen bottles if you want to use that. Just looking down to there, actually bring that up. There we go, we see we've got a passage, which is being flipped upside down. Piling on that, once again, opening up this doorway, this is going to be a straight dead end. We've got an O2H2 generator in the floor and a little bag. And there's the gyroscope. Looking up to there, there's a hydrogen tank with a conveyor. And that's pretty much it for this room. Opening this up, coming to the opposite side. There we go, identical setup. So coming through here, closing it up behind me, ignoring that it just tried to kill me, up these steps, all the way down. We're going to come through this door in just a second. All we need to do is open up this one, because in here is going to be our atmospheric thruster, so if it ever took damage, we can easily repair it up from the comfort of the inside of the ship. There we go. I've never seen that before on any other design. That's very unique in that regard. Anyway, opening up this, here we go through here, through our little corridor, there's the atmospheric thruster once again, opening up this, and all the way around, opening up this, and they've got a few more ways to go. But in this room, we've then got small little living quarters for your crew. We've got beds lining the room. Over to the opposite side, there's some lockers, armory lockers, round here your TV and sofa. Then over there is a shelf, but it looks like my character is too fat to walk through this gap once again. Gonna need the jetpack all the way over it, and down we come. So we've got two ways to go. Opening up this doorway is going to take us to, once again, a bunch more doorways. Then into here, we're going to come into a shower and toilet. There we now sit on here, got a nice little privacy. It is very dark in here, should not matter. Open up this, and now we've got a choice of where we want to go. Opening up this doorway, we're then going to come around to another section, which is going to lead us to another doorway, which will take us to the opposite side of the ship. So coming through here, and back into this one, hopefully this will take us back to the middle of the ship. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So we go down, or we can through this section right here. Opening up this, then come to a survival kit, looking around there, more beds, this is your medical bay. Opening up this door, looking around here, another door, another way down, opening up this, through this one, and into here. We then finally come to a place I actually know where I'm supposed to be going from here. This is a brig where you can store someone who's been misbehaving or a criminal in general. So we've got a little seat there for your guardsmen to sit on, and we've got two buttons to control it. So we've got a button to lock and unlock the door, and above that it's a button to open and close it. So we're going to open that up, go inside, and this is what your prisoner will be getting. So they've got a rather luxurious bed, a little table to do their work on, a coffee machine, then around onto there they've got a bloody big TV screen, which looks like it's even better than probably the captain's room. Anyway, back through here, we're now going to close up the door, pressing 1, lock it in place so now they can't escape, and they can continue being in luxury. So opening up this, opening up that, coming all the way through and heading all the way down. We shouldn't need to go through there because that should take us to the very start or where we came into the ship. So just to verify that, there we go, so that'll take us to the outside. Yes, it will. So now we can finally come all the way down and around past that air vent, and now we're into another place with a bunch more doors. But in the floor, we've got a cargo container with an access panel on top to make it all nice and neat. And then, if I can close it up, we've got a ladder that will go up. We'll come back to this a bit later. A doorway that will take us to the opposite side, which will take us up to where we just saw. And another doorway at the back here, which should, hopefully, if I remember correctly, will take us to our backup seat. So that the front of the ship ever took damage in combat, we can retreat back into this room and fly the ship around and control it all normally. So walking past this, all the way down, yes, this is the correct room. And once again, more doors on the side, but we'll come back to that after this bit. So looking down to there, there's our helm to control the ship. And then got two control seats, we have nothing going on with them. So if you wanted to set them up to control the turrets, and there is a full-on cockpit built into the wall, so you can once again control the ship and all the stuff about it. For a quick little demonstration, we can just come around into here. There we go, bring up the HUD. Now fly this thing around and control the rocket launchers and all of that. But I'll ignore everything else, so we actually go to the main cockpit at the front. I won't bother going down there because we've just basically gone through what it does through that seat. So into here, opening up this, through and around, opening up another doorway, and now onto the little section which is a dead end that features two small atmospheric thrusters. So like the one we saw at the other end of the ship, we now repair these up if they ever took damage for whatever reason, while also being nice and safe, being on the inside of the ship. Anyway, hiding all that once again, opening up the doorway, opening up that, opening up this, can be identical to what we just saw with our atmospheric thrusters. There we go. So coming all the way back through here, opening up this, we've got one more place to go, which will then be all the way up this ladder to the very top, almost at the end of this video. We can just drop this down, not grab hold of the ladder, opening up the doorway, and here we are. This is our main living quarters. We've got a bunch of seats around the room. We've then got a counter block and a bunch of planters lining the room. So looking onto this side, we've got ourselves a lovely little TV, coffee maker, planters, seat, and another planter. There's a little table for you to eat your food, discuss your plans, another doorway to go through, onto the opposite side, basically what we just saw, and another doorway to go through. So opening up this all the way through, all the way around, that'll loop back to where we just saw, and then got even more doorways to go through. We're opening up this one, and they've got a very fancy area. We've got a bed, and they've got a jukebox, little table to do your work on, a sofa, and then a small insect computer for you to do whatever with. Walking around to here, and then look down into that. Not too sure what this will be. I suppose you can put like a pet inside here, and hopefully they won't escape. There's your bookshelf, and all of that. Turning around, opening up this to the opposite side, but then got an armory locker and a couple more beds, so another place for your crew to sleep in. And turning around into here, opening up this doorway, here we are at the final stop of this ship, where this is the main cockpit, where like the one that we saw further at the back of the ship, we've got a bunch of seats that are not set up with anything, so if you want to have something on them, I suggest putting the turrets on there for manual firepower. So we walk all the way past this, come into the helm, and here we are with the actual controls. So in third person view, pressing number 1, this will take over our railgun. We can mouse click this, and we'll fire them both together. There we go. Number 2 then take over the 3 rocket launchers below the front of the ship. Pressing them, they'll all fire together. Number 3, number 4, number 5 for your atmospheric thrusters, your hydrogen thrusters, ion thrusters, turn them all on and off. Number 7 is then for your reactor, turn them on and off. Number 8 for your hydrogen tanks to stockpile on and off. And then number 9 for your O2HU generators, turn them on and off. And that is that for the controls. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to convert this from a station to a ship, realign the camera, and now we're going to fly this thing around to see how it handles. And here we go. And as you can expect from a bloody large ship, we're not the fastest thing in the world, but it does have some very respectable speed, and we should be able to scoot away from an enemy quite quickly while blasting them with all the turrets. Coming to a stop, we are a lot slower however, so we may want to do a 180, but given the actual gyroscope controls on this, it might take quite some time to do a 180, so do plan ahead while you're charging along towards your station or your base. Anyway, moving left and moving right, we've got a nice bit of speed with that. Moving down, and then moving up. Moving up should be a little bit faster than moving down, but no, it's not. Looks like we are having most of our upward speed being atmospheric crosses, which is to be expected from something that can go on a planet. But as for that, that's pretty much it for its controls. I'm not going to take it down to a planet unless I absolutely have to. If no space pirates decide to spawn in space, I'll take it to the district headquarters and blast them up again. What I'll do is cut back when I find some enemies to actually test out all the guns with. So I was unable to find space pirates in space, so instead we return to the space pirate district headquarters on the Earth-like planet, and well, this is the ship flying in 1G of gravity. It's perfectly fine, although a little bit scary if you were to move down too fast, because it's not the fastest at slowing down while moving up, so there is great risk of slamming into the ground, and I do believe I have spotted a wreck somewhere on one of my previous showcases. Anyway, we're not too far away from them, so the turret should engage at any moment, and we should engage with the bottom turrets, then we'll have to tilt it down to let the top turrets do their work. Should bring up the HUD there. Anytime now they should start to engage. Hopefully they'll engage. I might need to put the range up a bit more. So I'm going to just stop myself a little bit if I can. Come to here and actually find all the turrets. Actually make sure they're working because I'm a little bit afraid that they're not working. Here we go. We're now going to go all the way up to 800 meters. That should do quite nicely. The artillery guns go anymore. Nope, it's still 800 meters. Not too sure why it's down to 0. That's a bit odd for a big ship with loads of guns on it. But here we go, 900, 850, and here we go, we're now engaging. There goes the turrets below. We're now going to tilt all the way down. There's our Gatling guns on each side, and there goes all the guns on top. We're now going to absolutely annihilate them. I'm not going to be able to stop the ship. It is going to very, very slowly move towards the ground. Not too much I can actually do about that. I'm just going to feather it and start to move all the way around. I'm going to start this strafe all the way around. They might be fully disabled from a previous video. I'm not too sure. When I came over here, it looked like they were in one piece. And in fact, there we go, the rocket turret is fully active, and hopefully the turret can actually make quick work of that. If not, we're going to slam straight into them and make a gigantic explosion, because I haven't done that for quite some time. I'm just going to move a little bit closer, hoping to get the red turrets engaging. There we go. That's going to be some nasty shots at the front there. In first person view, this is what it looks like. So I'm taking quite a lot of shots. I might need to retreat back to the internal cockpits. Now I'm going to come all the way around, going to move down slightly, all the way around. And we just see one hell of a lot of shots coming through this. Going like that. There we go. Looks like the turrets on top have been disabled. No, they haven't. They are smoking, but they're still firing all their rockets. And there we go. There goes the cockpit. That is bad. Now I need to retreat back to the internal cockpits. And I need to navigate this massive maze. This ship is tilting. It looks like it's going down. I don't know if I can actually reach it in time for it slams into the ground. Oh God, what's happening? I'm getting thrown around. I need to somehow jetpack all the way up. Hopefully I can. Get all the way up into this. It's going to be very topsy-turvy all the way down. Now I need to somehow get back to where I was, wherever that is. Opening up that. And it looks like, oh my God, we actually lost our rear cockpit. Look at that. We might be able to get into this one. Can I tilt this all the way around? Maybe, maybe not. It's a bloody heavy ship to control. And it looks like we are going to be sitting on the ground. Yes, I was not expecting that to happen. It looks like as soon as we lost that cockpit, we lost all of our controls. And that went spiraling out of control. But yes, we are now back into the air. The turrets have engaged once again. And I think what I'm going to do now is reverse this thing up if I can. And we're going to slam it to the main body of the ship. Of course, this is a terrible representation of actually fighting something with the ship, because I am a terrible pilot, and I do prefer going gun-ho and cause as much destruction as possible to the ship and to the enemy. So what I'm going to do now is cut back when we reverse up a good enough distance, and then we're going to go and charge straight into them. So here we go, we are now slowly creeping up in speed as we move towards the Space Pirate District headquarters, and hopefully this will be a nice big crash. Hopefully I'm targeting correctly. I have a feeling we are slowly moving down to the ground, and we might not even reach the Space Pirate District headquarters. So realigning this, moving up slightly, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. Now hiding the HUD once again. We're now charging along at 100 meters per second. First person view, yes, we are on a direct collision course. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, a little bit off, but straight into the middle, and there we go. That was a nice big crash. We have infiltrated the district headquarters on the inside there. There's the interior turrets. Wow, they've got a lot of interior turrets on here. I'm not going to survive long if I stay inside. Now come back around to here. There's what's remaining of the poor ENV Reine Corvette. And yes, that's pretty much it for this video. So it's a bloody good ship to use in survival mode if you are taking care and not playing recklessly like I am. and will do very well in combat against pretty much anything the vanilla game can send at you, and pretty much anything the modern scenario such as the modular system counters can throw at you as well. So be linked to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do because it's a fun little ship. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.